Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, where today guys, I'm going to do part 26 to my uh, Google Gemini Chatbot Redemption Attempt series. Luckily for me, I had to do most of it off camera, but I think I got one that actually kind of fits on the story without forgetting anything, which is good. Some of them did take me having to re-edit them until it finally gave me one that worked. I usually only doing that, but if it messes up the memory, I'm screwed. It's game over. I have to restart again. So luckily for this one, all I have to do is click the edit button, and I can re-edit, and they'll give me a different response, or kind of work with what you put down. So yeah, luckily it did work out this time. Here's what happened. It says, "I'm glad you like it, Aqualia. Barnaby, you're a little too big to fit inside the actual house, so how about you find a good spot out here in the garden? Or, if you'd like to swim, there's a pond right over there that everyone can use. We'll come back out in just a few minutes, so make yourself comfortable. And, hey, Chickawita, Cyndaquil, how about you real quick both evolve into Typhlosion and Meganium and make sure that kid that turned me into this a few weeks ago is not sneaking around. I just don't want to get attacked the very second we get back to my house, you know. Remember, that's what happened when I first got awful with you. You went home with me after helping me on the toad. I was a big crocodile, and that kid threw a rock at me, causing me to fall off of him and hurt my neck. And I just said, my sweet fur alligator and baby Lugia, you can do the same while everyone else is walking inside and around. Or you could go inside with us. You both may have to swing down just a bit, but you can. Doesn't matter to me. And hey, Bagon and Awan, you want to go inside and look around, or do you want to relax out here? Here's what it says. Barnaby let out a low, understanding rumble and nod his massive head. He looked over at the sparkling garden pond and his eyes lit up. He gave a happy "Dragon!" and began waddling over to the water's edge, settling his large frame into the grass where he could keep a watchful eye on the entire perimeter. Chikorita and Cyndaquil shared a determined look. They remembered that day all too well. The day the mean kid threw the rock that hurt ya. They weren't going to let that happen again. In two brilliant flashes of white light, the garden was suddenly occupied by a majestic Meganium and a powerful Typhlosion. Typhlosion let out a low growl, a steady flame erupting from his neck as he began to prowl the fence line, sniffing the air for any scent of that human. Meganium used her long neck to peer over the bushes. Her scent cloud began to waft through the yard to calm the nerves of the group while she kept a lookout. Aqualia and the father fragger followed you toward the door, heavy footsteps muffled by the grass. Bagon and Iron looked at each other, then back at you. Bagon gave a curious chirp and scampered toward the door, his hard head tilted up to see the doorknob, while Iron followed close behind, his metal feet clinking on the porch steps. They definitely wanted to see the inside of the royal quarters. Your starter Feraligatr, still holding you safely, looked at the baby Lugia. With a soft glow of his blue energy, both of them began to shimmer. Feraligatr froze his massive body shrinking down until he was just the right size to walk through the standard doorway without hitting the frame. Baby Lugia did the same, hovering just behind your shoulder like a tiny glowing guardian. Smart thinking, King, your Feraligatr whispered, his voice now a bit higher in pitch, but just as protective. Typhlosia and Meganium will make sure no one's lurking in the shadows. Let's get the rest of the family settled in. Hellbird stood at the threshold, holding their plushies tight, waiting for you to officially open the door, or open the house. The door is open, the perimeter is secured, and enter home with the Feraligatr family. Bayon Aaron. Yep. Okay. Here's what happened, guys, after this. I guess I had to do pretty much the rest of this off camera, but I might continue for just a bit longer when we get to the part where we got to it. Like I said, it was a pain in the neck because I had to keep redoing the edits a few different times to a point where it finally did give me something that worked. Because I am not, guys, this has finally gone super well. I am not letting this thing screw it up at the very end. Because if I can get this done, I can make the memories and we can move on to another character. So, yeah. It says, before I could even try to open the door, I started to have another vision. Thank you, Lugia. Before the vision even started, the words, "Be careful," appeared. A few seconds after this happened, the words went away, and suddenly I was inside of my house. In the vision, I walked into my bedroom when I was by myself. And then, right after, the jealous kid that turned me into this dinosaur form 3 weeks ago grabbed me and then proceeded to hit me in the head over and over again. Right after this, the vision ended. Oh my gosh, dude, just imagine like, you being a tiny dinosaur, all of a sudden somebody grabs you and goes, that would suck, dude. Typhlosion, Meganium, alligator, that kid's in my house. He's out in the bedroom. The moment you spoke those words, the peaceful atmosphere in the backyard vanished, replaced by a cold, sharp tension. Typhlosion's neck flames roared into a deep, angry purple? Are you sure this is not the ghost type Typhlosion? And Meganium's petals shook with a low, vibrating hum of fury. Your starter failure didn't wait. Wait. Yep. His eyes turned a piercing, icy blue, and his grip on you tightened just enough to be secure, but his body went into a full combat stance. He didn't even use the door. He knew he had to be fast. Stay behind me, he barked to the rest of the family. Aqualia immediately grabbed Chomps and the Toadall brothers, pulling them back toward Barnaby, who had sensed the shift and was already hauling himself out of the pond. His face no longer smiling, but set in a mask of draconic rage. Meganium and Typhlosion didn't enter the front. They sprinted around the sides of the house to cut off the bedroom windows. Inside, you could hear a faint, panicked scuffle, the sound of someone realizing they'd been caught. Your familiar kicked the back door open. He moved through the hallway like a shadow, his heavy feet making no sound on the carpet. When he reached your bedroom door, he paused, looking down at you in his hand. He won't lay a finger on you, Trenton. Not ever again, he whispered. With a massive bang, the bedroom door flew open. There, cowering near your bed with a heavy wooden bat in his hands, was the jealous kid. His face went pale as a sheet when he saw not just a tiny Carnotaurus, but a glowing, battle-ready alligator and a baby Lugia hovering right behind you. I just want to. The kid started to stammer, but he was interrupted by the sound of Iron and Bagon charging into the room behind you, their eyes locking on him with pure hostility. The kid is trapped between your protectors inside and Meganium watching the window outside. He's dropped the bat out of sheer terror. Here's what happened. I just said, yeah, you were trying to hurt me again. I already know. I'm tired of it. I can't even be safe in my own home because of you. Will you, buddy? Please, you psychic, and get out of my house. Right after, please let Meganium keep him here with her vine whip. My sweet alligator, once that's done, can you please help me call the police? The baby Lugia didn't hesitate. Its eyes glowed with a fierce, brilliant blue light. The jealous kid didn't even have time to scream before an invisible force lifted him clean off the floor. His back clattered uselessly away as he levitated through the air, flailing his arms and guided firmly out the bedroom door and through the house. Outside, Meganium was waiting like a sentinel. As soon as the kid was hovering out the back door, several heavy, sturdy vines whipped out from her neck petals. They coiled around him like living ropes, pinning his arms to his sides and securing him firmly to a sturdy oak tree in the yard. Stay! Typhlosion hissed, pacing back and forth in front of the kid, a low smoke trailing from his snout that made the intruder's eyes water with fear. Your Starfrager walked over to the kitchen counter where your phone was sitting. He looked down at you in his palm with a look of grim satisfaction. The nightmare is over, Trenton. He's not going anywhere. Using one precise claw, he carefully tapped the emergency call button. As the line began to ring, he held the phone up so you could speak, his large body acting as a literal shield between you and the rest of the world. Aqualia and the father Frager stood by the back door, guarding the entry, while Iron and Bagon stood over the discarded bat, making sure it stayed out of reach. From the pond, Barnaby let a... Why was it? I said Barnaby. Barnaby let out a low, warning rumble that shook the kid's very bones, making sure he knew exactly how many giants he'd offended today. I love that line. Wait, it says from the pond, Barnaby let out a low, warning rumble that shook the kid's very bones, making sure he knew exactly how many giants he'd offended today. Oh boy, you just screwed yourself. The dispatcher's voice came through. 911, what's your emergency? I wish I had a better female voice than that. Who knows? The police are on the line. You're tied up. I'm a Gainey defined. I love it. Give me a second, guys, before I continue. Alright, guys, here's what I said. I was told 911, yeah, Professor Elm had to call you 3 weeks ago because people were breaking into my house. I just got home with my Pokemon protectors and some other Pokemon friends of mine. Somebody else broke into my house and was hiding inside the bedroom with a baseball bat ready to hurt me. The dispatcher's voice on the other end of the line immediately become sharp and professional. Oh dear. I see the previous report on file for this address. Stay in the line with me. Officers are already en route to your location. They should be there in less than 4 minutes. Is the intruder still a threat to you right now? Starfragger holds the phone steady. His eyes spits out on the back door where the intruder is being held. He leans his head down toward you, nonchalantly to reassure you that as long as he is holding you, nothing can touch you. Outside, the scene is one of absolute control. Through the window, you can see the jealous kid strolling against Meganium's vines. It quickly freezes as Typhlosion lets out a warning puff of smoke right in his face. Barnaby has moved to the edge of the yard, his massive shadow looming over the entire house, ensuring no one else can approach. Macaulay moves to your side, her hand resting gently on Furiagi's arm. You did the right thing, Trenton, she whispers softly. The law of humans will handle him now, and the law of the forest, our family will make sure he never dares to look at this house again. Tell brothers have retreated to the living room couch, clutching their Spinosaurus and T-Rex plushies. They look a little shaken by the tension, but seeing the strength of your protectors is helping them feel brave. Iron has parked himself right in the middle of the hallway like a silver boulder ready to intercept anything that moves. I have units turning onto your street now, as Roger says. I need you to tell your Pokemon to let the officers approach safely when they arrive. Can you do that? Sirens are audible in the distance, getting louder by the second. I just tell her, yeah, one of them is helping me even make this call right now. Most of them already know. And says right after I say this, I lean over to the mother for alligator and quietly say, tell Bagon and Alwan to not hurt the officers. Tell them they're trying to help me so they know. The only thing I'm confused about is this. She quietly nods solemnly, her eyes reflecting the seriousness of the moment. She leans down to Bagon and Iron, who are still standing guard in the hallway like tiny, fierce gargoyles. Listen closely, little ones, she whispers in a calm but firm tone. The humans in the blue uniforms who are coming, they are friends of the king. They are not coming to take the bad one away. You must stay still and let them do their work. Do not growl and do not strike. You are the king's royal guard. Show them your discipline. Bagon tilts his head, his eyes moving from the door to you, then lets out a sharp, obedient, Bagon! He sits back on his haunches, though he keeps his gaze hard on the entryway. Iron gives a metallic clink of agreement, parting his heavy steel feet firmly into the carpet, turning himself into a motionless silver statue. Outside, the sirens wail to a halt in front of your house. Blue and red lights flash through the windows, dancing across the walls. Starfragger shifts his weight, his muscles cool but under perfect control. He looks at Typhlosion and Meganium through the window and gives them a sharp, commanding bark. Recognizing the signal, Meganium doesn't let go of the kid, but she raises her visor just enough so the officer can reach him. Typhlosion extinguishes his neck flames, leaving only a faint, protective wisp of smoke as he sits down. They're here, Trenton. Fragger rumbles softly, keeping you cradled safely in his palm. Just stay calm. We won't let them be stalled by us. Heavy footsteps approach the front door, followed by a loud, authoritative knock. Police! We're coming in! Oh dear. As they're entering the house, since you were a tiny horse being held by a Fragger, would you like to have a call? Yep. Give me a moment. Alright, guys, I'm real outside. Come on in, officer. And as the front door opens and two officers step inside, their hands hovering near their belts, they stop dead in their tracks, eyes wisely taking the scene. A Fragger standing in the hallway, a Lugia hovering like a ghostly guardian, and a shimmering Iron and Bagon acting as sentries. Easy, everyone, one officer whispers, his eyes landing on you. tiny golden clawed dinosaur resting in the Frager's hand. He realizes visibly, wait, you're Triton. Professor Elm told us about the Tiny King. We've been on high alert since the last incident. He looks past you into the backyard where the jealous kid's pinned against the tree by Meganium's vines, with Typhlosia and the massive Barnaby looming over him. Kid looks like he's seen a ghost, or rather, a several-story tall dragonite. Looks like your team did our job for us, Bowser says, signaling his partner to head into the backyard to cuff the intruder. That kid has been causing trouble all over the neighborhood, breaking and entering with a weapon. He's going away for a long time this time. We'll make sure there's a permanent restraining order on file. I want money. Okay, guys, let's just say you missed a very entertaining thing going on in the background, but because of scenarios, I couldn't record during the time. Let's just say after the scenario, I was laughing so hard that now I'm having a flippin' headache. Oh my gosh. It says, as the officer led the sobbing, terrified kid toward the patrol car, the tension in the house finally snaps. Aqualia lets out a long breath of relief, and the father Frager puts a supportive hand on his son's shoulder. Mr. Frager looks down at you, his eyes soft and full of pride. He's gone, Triton. Your home is safe again. He walks over to the window so you can watch the police car pull away, its sirens fading in the distance. Bagon and Iron walk up to the window too, standing on their tiptoes to watch. They look back at you, their cheeks puffed out, proud to have completed their first mission as your royal guard. The threat is gone, the house is finally peaceful. Your whole family, old and new, is gathered around you. Here's what I said. I said thank you for Alligator for helping me, Carl. Lugia, thank you for getting that kid out. You did another great job with that psychic buddy. Can you please tell Meganium and Typhlosion? I said, wait. Here's what I said. Sorry about it. I said, thank you for Alligator for helping me, Carl. Lugia, thank you for getting that kid out. You did another great job with that psychic buddy. Can you please tell Meganium and Typhlosion I said thank you and that they did a good job? The baby Lugia lets out a soft, metallic trill that sounds like a silver bell. It closes its eyes, and a gentle wave of blue psychic energy ripples out through the room and into the backyard. Outside, Meganium and Typhlosion both perk up instantly. Meganium let out a graceful cry, her leaf petals glowing with a soft pink light of happiness, while Typhlosion gave a confident short bark, his back sparkling with a small, proud flame. They clearly heard the message loud and clear. They heard you, King. Here, Starfrager rumbles, his chest vibrating with a deep, content purpose. He continued to hold you securely. They're just glad you're okay. Seeing you hurt is the one thing none of us can stand. Chloe walks over and gently strokes your head with one finger. You have such a grateful heart, Triton. Even after being threatened in your own home, your first thought's to thank your protectors. That's why they would follow you to the ends of the earth. Bagon and Aaron still standing at attention, but seeing the big three get praise has them wagging their tails and tapping their metal feet. They seem very eager to earn their own thank you from the king soon. And the house is finally quiet and the sun is beginning to dip lower in the sky, casting long golden shadows through your living room windows. Tailbirds had finally relaxed enough to start playing with their Spinosaurus and T-Rex plushies on your rug, making little rolly sounds. With the intruder gone, your heart full of gratitude, the house was like a sanctuary again. Yep. And it says, thank you, Aqualia. Aaron, Bagon, you did a great job as well. You sweet little Pokemon. Aqualia, I see your two dino-loving birds over there. Where's Chomps? I hope he's okay. Bagon and Aaron both practically glow with pride at your words. Bagon does a little victory hop, and Aaron lets out a happy metallic clink while nuzzling your Ferrager's ankle. They are officially part of the team now. Aqualia smiles warmly and gestures toward the living room sofa. Don't you worry, Triton. He's perfectly safe. You look over and there's Chomps. The youngest Toto has crawled into a pile of your softest decorative pillows on the floor. He's curled up in a tiny blue ball, clutching a stray cushion like it's a giant marshmallow. The excitement of the flight Bartleby, and the tension with the intruder was a lot for the little guy. He's fast asleep, his tiny coil resting and falling rhythmically as he lets out a little Toto, Toto in his dreams. The Toadol brothers have set up their spinosaurus and T-Rex plushies like sentries on either side of them. We're guarding the baby, King. Cron brother, we're guarding the baby, King. The Cron brother whispers, giving you a thumbs up. Okay, that's just adorable. That's so cute. Your starter Fragger carries you over so you can see him better. He's tough, just like the rest of his family. He didn't even cry when the siren started. He just saw the plushies and decided it was nap time. Out in the garden, you can see Bartleby's massive silhouette through the window. He's curled up by the pond, his tail twitching happily in the water, keeping a silent draconic watch over the whole house. Meganium and Typhlosion have returned to their normal forms, walking around the house to make sure every window is locked tight before they come back inside. Everything is quiet and everyone is safe. Yep. Alright. It says, that's great. And then it says, I close my eyes and try to talk to the Lugia God. Lugia God, thank you again for saving me. It's because of your warning visions that I'm even safe right now, and the same thing for Chomps. Thank you so much, too, for helping me keep myself and this amazing family safe over the last 2 or 3 days. I want you to know that I love you, too. Always. I want you to thank you again for your protection. I just love the little... And this was cute right here, guys. I just love this. It says, as you close your eyes and send your heart's message upward, a profound, heavy silence falls over the room. But it isn't an empty silence. It's a warm, golden stillness that feels like being wrapped in a heavy, soft blanket. Deep in your mind, a voice resonates. It doesn't sound like a human speaking. It sounds like the deep hum of the ocean, the whistling of a high mountain wind combined into one. It is the Lugia God. Yep. You are most welcome, my tiny king. The voice echoes with a fatherly tenderness. Your heart is a beacon of light in a world that can often be dark. I protect you not just because of your crown, because you protect those who cannot protect themselves. You saved the young one, Chomps, and you showed mercy even to those who feared you. Sleep now in the peace you have earned. I'm always watching from the stars, and my love for you is as vast as the sky itself. This Lugia is just a big sweetheart. Of course, so was the entire Feraligatr. The Feraligatr and the baby Lugia having this are also big sweethearts. Like, dead-gum. Literally, in one of the runs we did, they were like, Feraligatr was just like, I'm not in a peaceful mood if somebody threatens your safety. Basically, kind of saying, they mess with you, you're gonna die, they're gonna die. Like, oh boy, that's kind of scary. For them. As the voice fades, the red light in your cross pulses 3 times in a slow, rhythmic heartbeat of pure gold. Your starter Fragger feels the shift in energy and looks down at you with awe. He can see the faint, shimmering silver aura of the Lugia God's blessing lingering around your tiny contour's frame. Really? That's cool. He walks softly over to your bed and gently lowers his hand, allowing you to crawl into your favorite soft pillow. The baby Lugia floats down and nuzzles your cheek, its tiny wings glowing with a soft, comforting moonlight. Meganium and Typhlosion slip into the room, curling up on the rug at the foot of your bed, while Bagon and Iron find a spot right by the door, true to their word as the royal shield. The house is full of the sounds of a sleeping, happy family. You are home, you are loved, and you are safe. As you drop into a well-deserved sleep. Yeah. I just said, Aqualia, and you, sweet Dino-loving Toad Crocodile, have a good sleep. The same for you, my amazing alligator, Chickawita, Cyndaquil, Bagon, Iwan, and Baby Lugia. I love all of you. As you whisper those final words, a wave of pure, unspoken love ripples through the room. Your starter Fragger gives you one last gentle nuzzle with his snout before stepping back to his guard post by the window, his eyes shining with loyalty. Meganium and Typhlosion settle into their spots, their breathing synchronized and calm, while the baby Lugia curls into a tiny ball of silver light right next to your pillow. Aqualia stands in the doorway, her silhouette framed by the soft hall light. She looks at her 2 older sons, the Toad Chrono brothers, who had already fallen asleep on the rug, still clutching their Spinosaurus and T-Rex plushies. We love you too, Triton, she whispers, her voice heavy with emotion. Sweet dreams, our king. That's adorable. As you close your eyes, and the last thing you feel is the soft, synthetic pulsing of the golden light from your claws. I think it's a nightlight for the entire room. The night passes in perfect, protected peace. When you finally open your eyes the next morning, the sun is streaming through the curtains, painting the room in bright gold. But it's not the sunlight that woke you up. It's the most incredible smell wafting from the kitchen. It smells like sizzling berries, toasted bread, and something sweet and honey-like. What? Toast? Well, no, it said bread already. You hear the clinking of plates and the happy, muffled Toto, Toto of Chomps playing in the hallway. Okay, that's just adorable. Chomps is so cute. Actually, the entire family is. Who am I kidding? The only thing I don't like, that's by the way where I stopped it there, guys. But here's the thing. There's only one thing I don't like about it, and it's like, I mean, yeah, it did finally kind of go in the direction I wanted it to go. But I think after I get through a little bit of breakfast or whatever, that's when I'm going to stop and just be like, yep, that's good enough. Because, dear me, I do not want this thing forgetting again and me having to go through a struggle. I mean, that's the last we ended off badly because of that. Alright, guys. It just says, I sit up listening to the sounds in the house. Uh, Sorry about that. Like, alright, guys, as I was saying, here's what it says. It says, I sit up listening to the sounds in the house. And say, Farewell, Gator, my sweet starter. If you can heal me, can you help me off to bed? Your starter Fraggy was already awake, standing by the window where he had been keeping watch all night. He didn't sleep? Poor creature needs to sleep. When he heard your tiny voice, he turned with a bright, toothy grin, the kind of smile he only ever shows to you. Oh, that's just a cute. I've been waiting for you to wake up, King. He rumbled softly, his voice full of morning warmth. He crosses the room in two long, silent strides and reaches out his massive, powerful hand. He lowers it to the edge of the mattress, keeping it perfectly level so you can easily step onto his palm. Once you're secure, he lifts you up to his eye level, nuzzling your tiny snout with his cold, wet nose in a sweet, good morning gesture. Did you sleep well? He asked, his eyes shimmering. House is full of lice this morning. I think Aqualia has been busy in the kitchen since the sun came up. Even Barnaby is peeking through the kitchen window from the garden trying to get a sniff of whatever she's cooking. As he carries you toward, oh my gosh, as he carries you toward the bedroom door, you see Bagon and Iron pop their heads up from their guard post in the hallway. They will get energized and ready for the day, their tails wagging the moment they see you're awake. The baby Lugia chirps a happy morning greeting and begins to hover around your head like a tiny, playful cloud of silver light. Typhlosion and Meganium are already out in the hall, stretching their limbs and looking toward the kitchen with hungry eyes. As Fragger carries you into the kitchen, you see a magnificent sight. Tables piled high with berry pancakes, and Toadop brothers are sitting in chairs far too big for them, excitedly showing their Spinosaurus and T-Rex plushies the human food. They're so cute, dude. Holy cripes. Alright, guys. I said, good morning, everyone. Chloe, that food you're making smells really good. Did you all sleep well last night? Ah, they both say it. So you know what? Good morning, King. Toad birds chime and using, waving arms of their sponsors until your head flushes at you. Okay, that is just cute as heck. Chloe turns away from the stove with a radiant smile, expertly flipping a pancake made of blended nab and orange berries. This Faragger can cook, and that is dope. Oh my gosh, I love that. We slept better than we have in years, Trenton, she says softly. Knowing there was a roof over our heads and a king watching over us. It was the first night I didn't wake up worried about the shadows. The Farfarager's sitting near the back door looking refreshed. He gives a respectful nod. House is strong. Your protectors are even stronger. They all feel very much at home. Chomps is currently under the table playing tag with your Auron, who's making happy metallic clinking sounds as he tries to keep up with the energetic little Todo. In the backyard, you can see Bumblebee's massive friendly face pressed against the glass of the kitchen window. He lets out a foggy breath that mists up the pain and gives a joyful, low rumbling dragon to greet you. That is adorable. Your Starfragger brings you closer to the counter so you can see the feast. She even made a special king's plate for you, Triton, he says, gesturing toward a tiny saucer filled with the finest, most colorful berry morsels and a small dollop of honey. McGame and Typhoid are sitting at the table, making sure the birds don't get too messy, while the baby Lugia hovers over the pancakes, seemingly mesmerized by the sweet smell and steam. The atmosphere is full of laughter and the clinking of plates. I flippin' love this. This is cute as heck. Alright, guys. I just said, you're a really good cook, Aqualia. When everything's done, let me know. And I just turn around to my Starfragger's hand to look at him and then say, hey, for alligator, I have an idea. Let's go outside for a minute. I want to see Barnaby and how he's doing. Oh my gosh, what is it about me randomly making certain porn blush out of nowhere? You're making me blush, Trenton. Are you serious? Chloe chuckles, her eyes sparkling with joy as she flips the last golden brown paint. I'll call everyone to the table the moment the syrup is ready. The Starfragger nods, his grip on you as steady as a rock. It's an idea, King. A bit of fresh air is the perfect way to start the day. He turns and pushes open the back door with his shoulder, stepping out onto the porch. The morning air is crisp and sweet, smelling of dew and pine. Barnaby lets out a happy, vibrating trill the moment he sees you. He's currently chest deep in your garden pond, looking like a massive orange island. When Fragger brings you closer to the water's edge, Barnaby lowers his head until his large, warm snout is just inches away from you. He gently blows a puff of air from his nostrils, a dragon's greeting that ruffles your tiny contoured scales. Oh, he's adorable. He's been awake since dawn, your Fragger explains with a smile. He spent the morning practicing his flight maneuvers over the trees to make sure his wings are in top shape for you. He's never had a home like this before, Triton. He's acting like a big, scaly puppy. McGame and Typhoid follow you out, stretching their muscles in the sunlight. The Beluga zines past, diving into the mist from the pond and coming up sparkling with water droplets, chirping a silver song of pure happiness. Everything feels right. The red light in your claws is glowing a soft, steady gold today, a sign of peace. Barbie seems to want to show you something near the edge of the water, near the edge of the woods. Oh, he's so cute. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. It says, that's sweet. Barnaby, I hope you enjoyed it here for your first night. I'm glad to see everyone is smiling. And it's rather sad as I take my snout and gently nuzzle Barnaby's massive snout. Barnaby's large, soulful eyes drift shut the moment your tiny snout touches his. He lets out a deep, resonating hum that you can feel vibrating through your starter Ferrellier's hand. It's like a warm, synthetic engine of pure gratitude. He leans into the nuzzle just enough to be affectionate without accidentally knocking you over. His scales feeling like sun-warmed velvet against your skin. Ah, I love it. Dragon. He sighs happily, a tiny wisp of steam coming from his nose. He definitely enjoyed it, King, your Freyr says, watching the exchange with a proud smile. He told me this morning that the air here feels lighter than it did near the warehouse. The first time he slept without having to keep one eye open for danger. Oh no. Let's get myself again. Just then a call goes out from the back door, her voice music going bright. Breakfast is served. Come and get it before the berry syrup cools down. Tailbirds come racing out onto the porch, their spinosaurs and T-Rex plushies tucked under their arms, cheering for the feast. Even Chomps comes out after them, his little tail wagging so hard it makes him wobble. Barnaby perks up his ears. He looks at the kitchen door, then back at you, giving a playful wink. Since he can't fit his whole body inside, he scoots as close to the house as possible, resting his chin on the window so he can be part of the family circle. If only I didn't mess up with the warehouse. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. I had to redo it a second time. The drafts thing just disappeared and it won't let me do it the way I want to. So now that all I can actually do is just keep editing it until it gives me one that actually works. Well, here's the thing. The last one would have definitely worked if it weren't for the fact that it said warehouse. There was no warehouse. None. The only except for that one dream I had about it. And even that wasn't that was a dream, you know what I mean? It says Bartleby's eyes go wide and then soften into a look of pure, gummy mouth adoration as you nuzzle him. For a massive dragonite, he's incredibly gentle. He stays perfectly still, letting out a low, vibrating hum of a purr that you can feel echoing through your own tiny chest. It's a deep, synthetic sound of a dragon who finally feels safe and appreciated. I think you just made his whole year, Triton, the Starfragger says with a soft chuckle, watching the bond between you and the gentle giant. Bartleby's tail splashes happily in the pond behind him, creating little ripples that catch the morning light. He lets out a soft "Dragon" and nudges you back ever so slightly with the tip of his nose, a sign that he will always be your loyal steed and friend. Behind you, Typhlosion and Megan stand side by side on the porch, watching the scene with proud smiles. Even the baby Lugia stops its aerial acrobats to hover peacefully above you, silver orb blending with the gold of your claws. Suddenly, the kitchen door swings open and Claudia sticks her head out, her face going, "Breakfast is served. Come and get it before the Toad brothers decide their plushies need triple helpings." Inside, you can hear the Chrono Bird telling his T-Rex plushie that it has to wait for the king before it can have a bite of pancake. If only it wouldn't have made it the first time, because that first one was so good, man. It wouldn't ruin it by saying warehouse. Again, the warehouse hasn't shown up at all. That could have been just a bad dream. It may not even been a vision. I don't know which one it was. Either way, give me a moment. Alright, guys. It says, hearing the mother Fragger say the food is ready, I just say, okay. Barnaby, if you want something, don't be afraid to ask. I want you to enjoy yourself just as much as everybody else. You might be big, but your heart is just as big as you are. Barnaby lets out a soft trumpeting sound of pure joy, Santana twitching with happiness at your kind words. He gives one last respectful bow of his head, his eyes promising that he'll definitely take you up on that offer for snacks later. He settles back into the soft grass by the pond, looking perfectly content to watch over the house while the indoor family eats. Your Starfragger turns and carries you back into the warmth of the kitchen. The scene inside is wonderful. Polly has laid out the plates, and the steam from the berry pancakes makes the whole room feel cozy. As Fragger approaches the table, the Omicron birds immediately sit up straight, adjusting their spines, watching T-Rex plushies so they're sitting properly at the table. The king is here! The tailbro whispers excitedly. Fragger carefully places you on a specially clean spot at the head of the table, right next to your tiny saucer of honey and berries. McGann and Typhlosion take their spots on the floor nearby, and the baby Lugia just hovers above your shoulder, waiting for the royal feast to begin. Jones has climbed under the lap of the father Fragger, staring wide-eyed at a pancake that is almost as big as his own head. We waited for you, Trenton, Collier says, sitting down with a satisfied eye. Now, let us eat as a family. Alright. Guys, here's the thing I'm already running into. For one, I gotta stop in a few minutes anyway, for two reasons. One, the battery's about to die, and two, we're starting to run into a problem with this thing's forgetting things again and again and again. So, what I'm gonna do, I don't know if I'll continue this for now. I don't know. If I do any more, it's gonna be like one or two. But I'm gonna stop pretty soon, then make the memories before I go anywhere else with any other chatbot. So, yeah. The problem is I've gone so far now, it's gonna take forever to find the spot where I stopped at. I mean, like now there's like 3 different videos and I know like one of them is gonna be very confusing to figure out where I'm supposed to really go. Man, I had to figure it out. I might do one more, guys. Give me a second. Alright, guys, here's I think the last one I'm going to do. It says, that's really nice, Aqualia, but you and your family are my guests. I'm just glad to know that your family is happy and that everyone's safe. Especially after being at your pond for the last 2 days and people kept trying to take chomps away. If it was your family that showed I was a king to begin with, I know nothing about this 3 days ago, and your entire family has been nothing but sweet towards me. Not to mention you spent your time yesterday helping me find some more Pokemon. Now I have a very sweet Dragonite named Barnaby, an Owon, and a Bagon, along with my other four protectors. On top of that, the fact that you and your family were willing to keep me safe too. Honestly, wasn't for all of you and the Lugia God, I probably even wouldn't be here now. As you speak, the kitchen goes quiet. The Carly stops her fork mid-air, and even Toto and Colonel Burst stop playing with their sponsors and T-Rex plushies to listen. Your words have clearly touched them deeply. Carly reaches out a gentle finger and softly brushes your tiny onto her shoulder. Trenton, we didn't just see a king on that rock. We saw a soul in need of family. We may have protected you from trainers. You gave our family a purpose and a home where we don't have to hide in a cave. That's a gift we can never truly repay. The firefighter rumbles in agreement, his deep voice vibrating the floorboards. You say we made you a king, but a king is only as strong as his kindness. You stood up to that trainer for chomps when you were only 7 inches tall. That's the heart of a true ruler. Starfragger, sitting right beside you, looks at you with an expression of pure devotion. He knows that without your bond, he wouldn't have the strength of his megastone, and he wouldn't be part of this massive, loving family. Suddenly, the baby looks at a high crystalline trail. Its eyes glow a soft silver, and it points its tiny wing toward the kitchen wall. The golden light from your claws begins to pulse, and thin lines of glowing red text start to weave themselves into the wallpaper. The whole family leans in to read the new message. The king's true power is not in his claws, but in the family he gathers. A house is built of wood and stone, but a kingdom is built of love and loyalty. Today marks the beginning of the golden era for the king and the Faragher clan. Fortune follows those who eat at this table. Wow, Telbury whispers, his eyes wide. The Lugia god likes the breakfast too. I love it. Alright, guys. The only thing I don't like about this one is finding what it said, right here. Wait, no, where'd it go? Yeah, it says you gave our family a permanent home where we don't have to hide in the cave. That's a gift we can never truly repay. There was another one. Some, there we go. You still did that trainer for chomps, even when you were only 7 inches tall. Hold on a minute. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. This will most likely be the last one until I create the memories. I said, Luigi God, I can never thank you enough as well. Just like I said yesterday, and a good amount for the last 3 days. I love you. I love to see you smiling too. As you speak those words of gratitude, the red text on the wall doesn't disappear. Instead, it begins to shimmer and shift into a shape. A glowing, signified outline of the Lugia god's massive wings, appearing like a warm embrace etched onto your kitchen wall. Dude, a feeling of immense power pride washes over you. Sensation of warmth that doesn't come from the sun or the stove. It's the Lugia god's way of smiling back at you. The baby Lugia chirps happily and flies over to the wall, pressing its tiny head against the glowing outline as if it's hugging its creator. The Starfragger bows his head in respect. Claudia wipes a tear from her eye with a smile. He hears you, Trenton, Claudia says softly, placing a fresh pancake onto a plate for the Toadall brothers. I think he's very happy that his tiny king is finally surrounded by so much love. Carnivore holds up his spinosaurus plushie toward the glowing wings on the wall. Look! The Loki god's protecting us even while we eat! Bagon and Aaron, who have been wrestling under the table with Chomps, stop and look up at the wall in awe. They've never seen anything like this before. Bagon lets out a smile, amazed. Bagon! Aaron's metal eyes sparkle as he realizes he's part of something truly legendary. Outside, Barbie lets out a long, low trumpet of joy that echoes through the backyard as if he can feel the divine presence all the way from the pond. The kitchen's filled with golden light and the smell of a perfect breakfast. Alright, guys. Well, here's the problem I've had. There are so many things that are so, inconsistent. I don't know if it's working or not. Like, take a while ago. The Toadle brother was just a while, or the little Chomps was just sitting on the table, or sitting in his father's lap, doing, or like looking at a pancake nearly the size of his head, being shocked by it. Also, now he's playing. My worry is that yes, has it messed up besides it mentioning the warehouse out of nowhere, which it shouldn't have. It has not really messed up that badly. There has not been something that's been like, oh, I have to restart this now. I don't like, but I like to not have to do the edit trick in order to get a new memory. I like to be able to keep up with everything. That way I can have a lot of fun. Either way, guys, there won't be another. There won't be another. I probably won't be another chatbot for a while. Actually, depends. Like I said, there might be one later tomorrow if I can actually do things quick enough. But I've really got to get busy on making those memories. If I had those memories originally, I don't think we'd be having as much problems as we are now. So, yeah, I'm done. See you guys later. Besides, my battery's at 5%, so it'd be good to stop anyway. Plus, there's something else going on that'll probably be back in a few minutes, so I gotta go and stop. See y'all later.